So is this an effort, well, to just bring them back into the mainstream? Can this be a greater accountability, and can this representation actually go through? Or is it just a matter of intent now? Can the logistics be worked out? Let's debate this issue now. Shabnam Lone joining us, lawyer, Supreme Court, on this broadcast. We're also joined by Sambit Patra, spokesperson of the Delhi Pradesh BJP, in the studio with me, and Sanjay Shah, founder of Hamara Congress, also joining us from Mumbai. Sanjay Shah, I want to go across to you first up. At this stage, well, how do you see this playing forth? Because certainly there's been no reaction from the Umar Abdullah government. There's been a question of intention as well. You talk about the reshuffle as well, which happened in January, and there was no Kashmiri Pandit there, something which didn't go unnoticed as well.
Well, I heard what I think Mr. Rajnath Singh made as a suggestion. I mean, the fact remains that as far as any representation in the assembly is concerned, it has to be part of a larger political solution. And correctly, the state government itself has passed a constitutional amendment whereby X number of seats are vacant because of the problems of territorial jurisdiction, whereby those seats are part of Pakistan occupied Kashmir, and therefore elections technically cannot be held. So as long as the assembly functions without taking into account those seats, or it doesn't affect the quorum, technically that should not make a difference, because once you have a political solution, the representation can happen. I really don't see how you can superimpose it from outside the the constitutional or the election process by deciding who and why it should be. I agree it's a challenge. I agree everyone who's who's had to be forcibly, unfortunately, leave Kashmir, like the Kashmiri Pandit issue, or those in JNK who are not represented, I agree that's a challenge. But the solution to that has to be political. And if at all there is a decision that the BJP is recommending, let them move a resolution of the assembly and get the necessary support, pass a constitutional amendment. But I don't see it happening practically, because this is really one that requires a political solution at the ground level.
Well, it's one that needs a political solution at the ground level, but will this be taken forth at the assembly, Sambit Patra? Because certainly the right noises have been made as far as the BJP president is concerned at the conclave, and has found a lot of support and resonance with the Kashmiri Pandits as well, but actually taking this forth is going to be the next step.
The first issue is, if the right intentions are there, then it is very much possible that this clause can be inculcated within the assembly, and it can be a political force as well. For instance, there can be an amendment to the Article 48 which says that it cannot be represented. I mean, the 24 seats has to be vacant, so it can be amended by a consensus between the parties of Jammu and Kashmir. But the problem is the people of Jammu and Kashmir, in the sense that the political masters of Jammu and Kashmir are wriggled under the fear that somewhere the political scenario may shift towards the state of Jammu, and that's the reason as to why they would not like to bring in this scenario in place. Second most important issue, it is not that for the first time this kind of voice has been heard. I remember in 1981, Mr. Bhagwan Azad, the Union Minister of the Government of India then for rehabilitation, had raised the voice that the people from west of Pakistan who had migrated to Jammu and Kashmir be given their subjective rights, they'd be given the subject citizenship, but still that nothing has been done. So it is a matter which is pending since long, and intentions more than anything else is required to set things right.
But Ms. Shabnam Lone, listening in, you think the logistics need to be worked out quickly as well, because it's been too long, and for rehabilitation to take so long as well is a matter of great concern. Rajnath Singh may have raised the issue now, may have spoken of greater representation, but it's not the first time this has come forth.
Well, let me first of all state that Kashmiri Pandits are an inalienable part of the Kashmir horizon.
True.
Political, economic and social. Now what has come forth from Mr. Rajnath Singh Sahab is divisive and damaging, and is also not fraught with any constitutional standards. How can you have a representation for the citizens of the state who are very much part of that state? Let Kashmiri Pandits come back to state. They are a part of us. That land is as much there as much as it is mine. We want them to come back to their homeland. We don't want them to be designated as refugees, as the BJP wants it to be designated.
Sambit, go ahead.
I think BJP needs to introspect. They are really...
Shabnam, a quick point if you allow me.
Let me
Please.
Let me hold on. Let me make this point that I really feel BJP is missing Janab Atal Bihari Vajpayee's strength, spirit and serenity. You cannot spark off situations where it is already a volatile situation. Kashmir continues to be volatile. And don't do things which will agitate matters further in the state. BJP has to act like a responsible party